Sports, back with another one. Wanted to give my thoughts on this ESPN article that I read today. Basically, the Arkansas Athletic Commission has allowed a fighter that was HIV positive to box in their state, and this is just the result of a commission being highly incompetent, and a fighter that was willing to falsify records for what had to have been a small payday. They said the guy was fighting at a girls and boys boxing, boys and girls club or whatever that is, and it was about a little bit over 100 people in attendance. So it was a small card, and it's just disgusting. First off, when they, I'm sure they already caught this guy. He needs to be prosecuted the same way you would prosecute a man or a woman who knows they got HIV or AIDS and they just out here smashing unknown partners. That's how this needs to be dealt with. This is not like football or basketball to where there's a low probability of a cut. Especially there's a low probability of two more than one guy getting a cut at that. But in boxing, there's a high probability of both of y'all getting a cut. Then y'all could be up in the clinch, rubbing up against each other, cut on cut, and there, boom, a guy's life is changed forever. For somebody who just couldn't tell what was going on and let go of your boxing career because you got HIV, however you got it. So the backstory in this is there was a promoter out in Florida getting his fighter just a routine blood test that's required for boxing anywhere, and apparently it came back that the fighter was HIV positive. So the promoter had the blood work retested and it came back the same. So this promoter went to his fighter and told him, hey, you got HIV or whatever, and apparently the fighter was in denial. So the fighter is saying he's gonna go fight in Arkansas, and the promoter went ahead and told the Florida Commission that, hey, this fighter got HIV, here's the test, and they suspended him in Florida. So the fighter went and fought in Arkansas. Now the promoter is saying that maybe he's sure that the fighter was on medication, so maybe the fighter went somewhere and took another HIV test and it came back to where he was negative, because the medication, it basically helps your immune system not lose T cells or whatever as fast. So maybe he got to a threshold to where he would come up negative, or maybe he just falsified the records. I don't know how he would have did it, but that's just unfortunate that in Arkansas they're not administering their own tests. The fighters give them the paperwork or whatever, and that's what they take. So I mean, beyond HIV or whatever, fighters coming in with certain illnesses, these fighters could be juicing as well. So that's another unsafe aspect of the program that they got going on, and the how they're running stuff down there. And then on top of that, it's it's law that you check fight facts. Okay, so if they would have checked fight facts, which is by law what they have to do, they would have saw that this fighter was suspended in the state of Florida for having HIV, and they wouldn't have let the guy fight. So it's just a lot of just people being incompetent, and this could have been avoided. Now hopefully the fighter that the guy fought hasn't contracted HIV. Hopefully it was no cuts involved in the fight and it was a clean fight, because this would just be disgusting for a fighter to get HIV for a commission being incompetent like this. And I put the picture of this fighter Tommy Morrison as the thumbnail, because if anybody who doesn't know who Tommy Morrison is, he's the guy he fought in he was Rocky's protege in Rocky 5, and he was actually a real fighter. I believe he was world champion at one point, and he lost his title. And then in 1996 he tested positive for HIV, and I believe he was like in denial for the rest of his life, and he ended up dying of AIDS or whatever. So that's why I put that thumbnail on there. But anyway, make sure y'all give me y'all comments. Let me know how y'all feeling about it. Like, subscribe, and as always, hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.